Well, good evening everybody. I'm Louise Daniels from Lou's Colourful Crafts, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm in Retford, right in the middle, right in the heart of Robin Hood country. And tonight I'm going to show you one of the stamp sets from the new catalogue, just to show you how to have a little bit of fun if you are creating some Valentine's cards in the next few days. If you haven't got this stamp set, it's certainly something that I think will be great fun. You certainly don't need to use it just for Valentine's Day. I'm combining it with some of the new products that we have, including the shimmer papers, which are also stunning. But I'm also going to use some of the new online exclusives, which, as a demo, one of our perks is we get our hands on these things a whole month early. And I've got 3 wonderful embossing folders that you will be able to purchase as of the 1st of March. Online only, they won't appear in a catalogue. But hello. So hello Elizabeth. Don't forget, people, if you are watching me live, to give me a hashtag live and to let me know that you're out there. So without further ado, I'm going to switch my camera over, and let's hope everything's working this evening. And I'm going to bring in, first of all, I'll bring in the embossing folders. These are going to be quite tricky for you to see properly, but hopefully. So they're Stamp and Cut and Emboss. As I say, these are going to be available from the 1st of October. Right, start again, Louise. These are going to be available online only from the 1st of March while stocks last. In this pack, they're basic 3D embossing folders. So they're not the big thick chunky ones, and you've got some really interesting patterns. This is sort of a star type, hi Lorraine, hi Mum, star type pattern. There is one that's a bit like a, I don't know quite what you'd call it, a bit like a hash. It's not a basket. I know it's very difficult for you to see these, which is why I'm going to try and use them. And then this was my favourite. This is like polka dots, but they're raised, obviously, because they are embossing folders. So what I did was I had a little think, and as I say, I found, when we opened up the mini catalogue, one of the first things I thought was I need this set. Hi Jane, hi Joanna. As you know, our Rebecca has a cat called Isla, and although she's black and white, she certainly does just hang about. In fact, last night she's grown so much she goes on the top of her pole, stretches her head out and falls off. But anyways, up. So, and if you see this one down here where she's got a heart on the end of her tail, Chris says we need to put a mice. So, okay, now then, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring these in, and first of all, what I've done, let's see which one we're going to start with. We're going to start with this one. So hopefully you can see what we're doing. I've used some of the shimmer paper, which is utterly stunning, and I've run it through the Dotty embossing folder. I'm hoping you can see this. Oh, you can see the effect. So this, and all I've done is literally just run the Dotty paper, the shimmer paper, I think I've left my brain somewhere tonight, in through the, and I'm just going to use the green glue. As I always say with these embossing folders, you do need perhaps a little bit more glue just to make sure it does stick down really well. And I'm going to pop that one up here like so. Okay, and what I've done is, I thought it's such a sweet paper with the dots. I've then used a piece of the DSP that's coming free currently in Celebration, and I have, it's amazing. I think so too, Lorraine, when I started playing tonight. And then I've taken, we're having a bit of spot time here. I'm just going to make sure that sticks. Just give it a couple of minutes, because again it's the, and then I've got a little tiny piece of fresh freesia, as you know is one of my favourite colours, and I'm just going to grab a snail, a tape runner, and I've cut a tiny strip of fresh freesia, only I'm not, because it's not functioning and I haven't got a piece. Oh, well, I can't do what I was going to do because I haven't. I'll try it with glue. I don't like using glue. I don't know why I haven't got any double-sided tape there, because I've been putting it somewhere else. It's much better to not use wet glue on ribbon, because all that happens is the ribbon absorbs it and doesn't really stick. But needs must. Let's see if we can make this work. If not, I'll start another piece of paper. Just get my snips, and the shimmer paper is in the mini catalogue. I think it's, if I remember rightly, somebody might have to tell me if they've got a catalogue to hand, it's in the Fancy Floral Suite, and you get it in this purple, which is the Fresh Freesia. Now, I don't think that, oh, it might be able to hold, I might be able to do 3 things at once here. This is when in crafting you need 6 arms. Got ya. There we go. It's, as I say, and you get the Fresh Freesia colour, you get a soft succulent colour, and you get a gold, which you'll see me use in a minute. Right, so what I've done is, so I've got my card front, and I've got, definitely, Lorraine, it's a good idea, get going with some of these embossing folders. And then what I did was this cat here, this one, I've already pre-cut him because you don't need to see me cutting, and I'm just going to sit him on there, and I'm just going to put some little blobs of embellishments on him. Hopefully you can all see what I'm doing. I've managed to sort out while my camera was having an epileptic fit, and I downloaded and reloaded it, and it seems to be functioning. Famous last words. And I've put lots of embellishments on him, and I'm just going to sit him on there, so he's just sitting on our purple shelf. Hopefully you can see that. And then I've got some strips of card just here, and I'm going to take one of the sentiments from the sets that just says, I'm going to do head over heels about you. Quite cute. And the other interesting thing this time, I didn't use an awful lot of colours, so I'm just going to bring in the black. Hi Fran. There we go. Double check that it's working always on your grid. Nice and neat in there. I'm going to do that one there, head over heels about you, and I'm just going to make a piece like so, and like so. And then I'm just going to pop this one over there. Shall I pop it down the bottom? I think I'll pop it down the bottom. What do we think? Top or bottom? Top or bottom? And somebody let me know where they think they should stick this sentiment. Am I going to put it down the bottom under the cat, or at the top? If you let me know. And while you let me know, I'll find the lid from everything. Top or bottom? And I'm just going to bring my take a pick in and just grab a few little sparkles, because we might as well have as many sparkles as we can. Top, top, top. Okay, we're going for the top. Right at the top or just above the cat? Oh, bottom. Top, top, bottom. Right at the top. Oh, now I'm confused. No, I'm just going, no, it's going to go there. Head over heels about you. There we go. So, and there we go. We have a very definitely glittery cat. Very, very, so as I say, using these 3D embossing folders above the cat. So, sorry Joanna, you were outvoted that time. Right, so, on to card number, I don't know, let's see which one I want to do next. I'm going to do this one next. And again, I've pre-stamped this. This is another one of the embossing folders. This is the one that's a little bit like basket weave. Not really sure whether you can actually see that. It's a crisscross. I've done it on the Fresh Freesia. I'm not sure whether you can see that or not. It's not. It's much more subtle. For those of you who know, it's. Let me see if I can turn it. There we go. Anyway, so it's on there. I promise you that is embossed. Again, you could use. Actually, can you see that side better? Can you see the debossed side? I might use the debossed side, because that's quite an unusual thing to do as well. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to use the raised side. I'm going to turn it over and have what I think is known as its debossed side. So it's where it's, and again you need to have plenty of glue. There we go. There we go. And again, I'm afraid, no apologies, I just love this fresh freesia. I'm using it while we can because this is one of the in colours. And then I've used the layering circles. Now this time I've taken the cat who has the heart from his tail that she's playing with, and I've layered it with some of the purple shimmer again. So I'm just going to pop the cat straight onto the circle. I'll show you how he stamps in a minute. I'll stamp one for the other card. And then, because it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to introduce a little bit of soft sorbet and just colour the little heart. There we go. And I'm going to use some more dimensionals. There we go. Like so. Has everybody got this set? I suppose if you're not a cat lover you wouldn't possibly, but and I'm just going to pop him on there, sort of not quite in the middle, and then I've cut another tiny little white circle, and I'm going to grab the one that says "Hi there, Valentine," and again, just for ease of whatever, I'm going to use just the black. So pick it up with your block, move the card out of your way, because don't forget you're always going to have an emergency side. So I just thought this was great fun, and of course if you didn't want to do them as Valentines, you can do them as birthdays, thank yous, thinking of you, just a note. And this time I'm just going to glue that straight on, and I just thought that was a really very simple Valentine, a little bit different. There we go. Hopefully you can see that one. There we go. So that one says "Hi there, Valentine." Yes, it's lovely this. I've only just started using mine, Joanna, tonight. I suddenly thought, oh, what can I do? And I just thought, there we go. And actually I'm going to bring the other sentiment in. I don't often stamp on the insides, but I'm just going to put this one in here. Head over heels about you. Now if you're going to stamp on the inside, don't get the front of your card on the ink. Use your grid, line your grids up, and then you should theoretically be able to stamp more or less perfectly straight. There we go. Now if I was really clever I could have done a reverse cat on the inside, couldn't I? I didn't. So there we go. There's another one. And on the same themes, now I said I was going to use the gold. This is the gold shimmer, truly lovely. So I say there's a soft succulent, the gold, and the fresh freesia. And this time I'm going to do something slightly different. So not all cats are black. I've stamped the long cat that hangs on his little wire. I don't know quite what he's doing. And I'm going to colour his heart with the red again, like so. And I'm going to have cut that, and I've cut it, and then I've got a piece of the same DSP from the celebration, and I'm going to glue this piece of card that is pre-stamped. There we go, this way over. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I'm going to pop that across the middle. Well, what's she doing now, we think to ourselves. Now, this is where it gets crafty. What you need to do now is, so you've got a piece of DSP with a card stamped. So obviously you can do this layout with anything. Fran did a most beautiful card from one of the layouts from last week, which made me feel very, very special that somebody was listening and thinking that I would inspire them. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to put the glue around the opening, okay, because that way I'm not bothered about trying to stick it to the table or anything, and all I'm going to try and do is make sure that my little cat is as much as I can in the middle, can you see that, of the opening. A little bit of DSP, a little bit of cat, and a little bit of love. Now you can see I've got him on a bit crooked, so luckily Stampin' Up glue, oops, there we go, let's take him off. Stampin' Up glue, there we go. I'm not perfect every time. Let's drop him down. There we go, that's better. And then I'm going to just turn that over, and I'm going to glue all the way round. Oh gosh, plenty of glue because there's several layers. And I'm just going to turn the card landscape. Some sparkly eyes on the ginger cat. We could do some sparkly eyes on the ginger cat, Mum. Definitely. I'll put them on in a minute. I'll find them. There we go. And there we go. So he's on there. I'm going to find the sparkles, which I've now lost. Where have I just put them? Oh, there we go. There's some little tiny gold ones. Oh no, they don't like those. Let's find some of this one. This one's better. They didn't like the gold. They looked a bit scared. Oh, I don't know. I had some more just now. They're here. There we go. So the trouble with my craft room, I've got too much of everything. Yeah, I like this, Mum. There he goes. He's got little tiny. Better have two, otherwise he looks like he's wearing a monocle. There we go. So he's got little sparkly eyes. He's got a little bit of glue. And then I'm going to use the sentiment that says, I love hanging about with you. And because obviously he's hanging about, I'm going to take that off that dot there. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to bring in a piece of cardstock. And it's quite spooky now, Mum. Oh, now you think you need it. Oh dear, Lorraine, what a shame. I think it's good fun, this. I really do think this is good fun. And then I'm going to... Oh no, I don't like that. That's not straight. Let's try again. That's why you always have more than one side. There we go. That's... Oh no, I don't like that either. That's not black enough. Third time lucky, ladies. Right, let's try that. There we go. Oh, still don't like it. I'll get there in a minute. I'll get one that I like. There we go. Right. I'm not sure about your sparkly eyes, Mother. I think it's slightly scary. Perhaps I should have put a black dot underneath them. And with this one I'm going to do a fishtail. Those of you who don't know what I mean, basically you cut to the middle of where you want to be and then you just create triangles like so. And I'm going to pop him on there. He can go on some dimensionals or two. I'm going through them all tonight. There we go. We've got lots of sparkly cats here. I love hanging about with you. There we go. And I'm going to bring one of the orange. These gems are from the Floral Suite too, if anybody was wondering. They're nice colours. There we go. So we have a very sparkly cat with very sparkly eyes that I'm really not quite sure about, but they're on him now. And finally, now I'm pausing because I've just, those of you who know me quite well, I've just stabbed one of my poorly fingers. And I was about to do a white card and I'm not sure it's going to work if I've got blood everywhere. But anyway, so this is the third and final embossing suite. This is the one I really like. I suppose they're almost like stars. They're sort of, I don't know quite how you describe it. It's a bit tricky to show you. But anyway, no, I'm not sure about the sparkly eyes. They might, yeah. It looks like he's sort of, not quite sure what's happened to him. But anyway, so the beauty of these little embossing folders, and as I say, they're going to be online from March the 1st, while stocks last, is that they just add a little bit of something. I'm not quite sure what you'd call it. Oh gosh. I haven't got any plasters. I'll try really hard not to make a card with ruby red Valentine's fingers all over it. Hang on, it's very tricky. Would be my first finger. Right, They're very good at creating just a little bit of texture to a card. And by the way, if you're watching this on a phone or an iPhone, don't forget to show me a little bit of love and send up a few loves or likes or happy spaces, whatever. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to stamp this cat. Oh, I'm just going to pull these off this block. And first set you ordered. Yes, I've had him a while. I don't think I'd really appreciated that he was very definitely a... Now the beauty of this, I am putting the ink to the stamp because obviously I want him to be nice and black, and this way you can actually check that you've got your ink everywhere. So I need a bit more down there. There we go, and pop him on, hopefully. Let's go for it. There we go. And I find with the black ink as well, if you just hold it on a little bit longer, just give the paper card a little bit more time to actually adhere to the... Now what I've done, eagle eyes amongst you will find that that's the piece from the other set. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop him on there, and before we do, I'm going to put a little bit more pink in this heart. I love this colour. This is another one of the newer ink colours. This is Sweet Sorbet. Oh, and I think he could have a tiny little pink... She can have a little tiny pink nose. She's not having sparkly eyes. They were a bit scary. And just ordinary glue. And... oh. There we go. Just glue that one onto there. And then just going to pop that on there. This we're going to pop it in the middle, I think. And I'm just going to glue this one on. What do we reckon? Put him in the middle and put the sentiment inside, or put him up the top and put the sentiment underneath? At the bottom. I'm thinking to put him in the middle, show you what I mean. In the middle and put my sentiment inside, or should I put him at the top, put a sentiment underneath him? What do we think? Middle or top? Anybody got a preference? While I'm just trying to stop my finger bleeding everywhere. Middle or top? Middle or top? Let me just see a minute. Just tying a little Sweet Sorbet ribbon bow. Middle, top, middle, middle. Oh, afraid it's going to be the middle. Middle, 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 middle. Sorry, Fran. And I'm going to pop her. So again, if you're going for the middle, don't forget to use your grid. And just, there we go. And then I've got some of the Sweet Sorbet, what's it called? I can't read it. Open weave ribbon. It's amazing things. Let's just do that again. I'll show you how I do it. I just take a piece, grab a bow, round a bow, and even with a very funny finger that is very, ouch, famous last words. There we go. There we go. And for those of you that are watching me tonight, if you do make any cards of your own and you are a member of my Loose Colourful Crafts group, do pop them in the group, because we'd all love to see what you're creating. Because some of you have got some fantastic ideas. There we go. Pull it nice and tight, make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Use your snips to just, whoa, do that one and do that one. And then I'm going to just take a tiny piece of the DSP, because I can't see my glue dots. You can make a glue dot with Tombow, but because I've already just made my finger very sore, I don't think I'm going to start that game. Right. Looking forward. Oh, what on earth have I got stuck on my snips now? I need to walk round with a whole piece of sandpaper, I tell you. Yes, if you haven't got a glue dot and you want to put something on like this, if you just snip a piece of dimensional, it will work in just the same way, and it also raises your bow up just a little. Oh, it does if you don't stick it to your finger first. Let's try again. There we go. Stick him on there. It's because I'm trying to keep my finger out of the way. There we go. Those of you who are taking part in the global retreat, I'm fingers crossed the boxes are coming out tomorrow, so you should get yours very soon. There we go. We've got a very sparkly bow on the front, and I'm just going to stamp in the inside. I think I'm just going to leave it for now, and I think I might actually turn it into a thinking of you or a this is all about you. But I hope you have enjoyed those this evening. I thoroughly enjoyed using this little set. There is a link in my comments on Facebook as to where you can get this. You can shop directly with me or any one of your other demonstrator friends. As I say, you'll have to keep an eye out. I will be letting you know when the embossing folders are available. But just to recap, so we made this little cat here and his little friend here, purple, and they're using the different embossing folders. Oh, have you not had the glitter ribbon? Oh, the glitter ribbons, Lorraine, are amazing. I say that Sweet Sorbet, they're in all the in colours, the current in colours, and they're really fine. I just thought we'd have a bit of sparkle. I think I'm feeling a bit, and there we have a bit of an alien cat. No, well, I suppose cats' eyes do shine in the dark, don't they, actually? So perhaps he's just out in the dark. And there's my fourth one, which is really very sparkly, head over heels about you. So thanks ever so much for watching tonight. I'll come back and see you. There we go. They really are sparkly. I don't know quite how that came about. It's just what I happen to have on the desk. If you do ever want to order anything, either get in touch with me or one of your demonstrator friends and pop an order in. It is very, very easy to shop with me online. I'm louisedaniels.stampinup.net, and as always, if you place an order through my little shop, I'll send you a little thank you. Without further ado, I'm going to say good night and thank you very much for watching. I won't be live next week, although it's Valentine's Day. We are away, and fully enough, I don't think we'll be doing much in the way of stamping on Valentine's Day, but I intend to be back the week after, and I'm glad you really enjoyed them. I'm really pleased with how they've come out. Enjoy, and if you haven't got your cats, I reckon you need to order them soon. Alright, take care, stay safe, and have a lovely week. Bye. Thanks everybody. See you all soon. Bye.